Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back to Social Science online teaching classes from Vishwamanava Residential High School. I am Mahabubi, your social science teacher. My dear students, the previous class we have learned meaning of natural disasters and causes, effects and distributions of natural disasters like cyclone and floods. In the lesson Indian natural disasters. Now let us continue part of this lesson. We are going to discuss what are the causes of landslides, what are the effects of landslides and distributions of landslides. Then second point, coastal erosion, causes of coastal erosion, effects and distribution of coastal erosion. And the last point, earthquakes. What are the causes of earthquakes and what are the effects and distribution of earthquakes? These points today we are going to discuss in this class. Okay, my dear students, let's start. The another important natural disasters in India, one is landslides. What is the meaning of landslides? The silting of landmass along steep slopes of hills or mountains is called landslides. It involves downward sliding or falling of mass of soil, rock and debris or combination of these under the force of gravity. My dear students, landslides means it is silting of land mass along the steep slopes of hills or mountain is called as landslides. It is the silting of landmass along the slopes of hills or mountain is called as landslides. Then it involves downward silting or falling of mass of soil, mass of rock, etc. This combination came under the force of gravity. So, then we called as landslides. Okay. Then, let's move on. What are the causes of landslides? My dear students, causes of landslides we can see. In the landslides, both causes, one is natural force, then second one is human force. Landslides causes we can see one side natural force, another side human force. Both natural and human ensued force causes landslides. Shall we discuss one by one? One is natural force. My dear students, under the cutting of slope, as in the sea views, soil erosion of a sea, cliff, earthquakes and heavy rainfall. That is the natural force. See once again, the natural force of landslides under the cutting of slope, as in sea views, erosion of a sea, that is cliff. Then second one is heavy rainfall. Heavy rainfall, it is the natural force of landslides, natural force of causes of landslides. Then third one is earthquakes. These are the natural force of landslides. Okay. Then human force. My dear students, in the human forces like deforestation, then railway lines, constructions of roads, constructions of dams, receivers, ideal power project, then mining. These are the human force of landslides. Understand? Human force of landslides, one is deforestation, railway lines, constructions of roads, constructions of dams, receivers, ideal powers projects, mining, etc. These are the causes of landslides of human force. Then let's we move on another important concept, that is effects. What are the effects of landslides? My dear students, landslides are destructive natural disasters. The major effects are, one is blacking of railway lines. Blacking of the railway lines, that is the major effects of the landslides. All of you know that. Then blacking of roads, blackage of the roads. Then burying of human settlements and vegetation. The burying of the human settlements and vegetation, it is to put dead bodies in the ground. Then loss of life and loss of property, etc. These are the major effects of the landslides. All of you know that, keep it in mind. Blacking of the railway lines, blacking of roads, burying of human settlements and vegetation, loss of life, loss of property, etc. My dear students, the roads blacking of the roads, blackage of the roads is a very common problem of the landslides. Understand? These are the major effects of landslides. And let's move on. Distribution of landslides. In India, landslides are occur very often in hill states like Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, and northeast states. In the map, in India, landslides are occur very often in hill states. The hill states, one is Jammu and Kashmir, second one is Himachal Pradesh, and the third one is northeast states. These are the distributions of landslides. And what are the preventive measures? What are the precautionary measures of the landslides? My dear students, the preventive measures of the landslides to build slope reduction. Then prevention of rock falls along highway and other slope. Very important. Understand? Then avoiding of mining and human settlement and buildings. There should be a massive reforestation, steps to reduce the occurrence of the landslides. These are the preventive measures. One is slope reduction, second one is prevention of rock falls along the highways and other slopes, third one is avoiding of the mining and other activities. These are the preventive measures of landslides. Understand? Meaning of landslides: causes, effects and distribution and preventive measures of landslides. And let's we move on another important concept in this lesson, that is coastal erosion. My dear students, what is coastal erosion? What are the causes of the coastal erosion? And distributions, effects and preventive measures of coastal erosion. Let us discuss one by one. My dear students, coastal erosion, it is sea waves strike the coast with great force. It is a sea waves strike the coast with great force. This constant process leads to erosion of coast. Then after, the coastal erosion is the process of wearing away and removal of materials along the coastline of the waves action. My dear students, the coastal erosion, it is nothing but the sea views the coast with a great force. This process leads to erosion of the coast. So, hence the coastal erosion is the process of wearing away and removal of the materials of the coastal lines. Then, what are the causes of the coastal erosion? My dear students, the causes of the coastal erosion. The coastal erosion is mostly caused by the sea views. All of you know that the coastal erosion is mostly caused by the sea views and ocean current. Understand? The causes of the coastal erosion we can see sea views and the coastal current. Then, my dear students, in India, the causes of the coastal erosion. In India, the main three important causes of the coastal erosion. One is southwest monsoon winds. Second one is tropical cyclone. Third one is tsunami. Understand? Let us discuss one by one. The first one is the southwest monsoon winds. What are the causes of the southwest monsoon winds? These winds are causes intensive coastal erosion along the west coast of India. My dear students, observe the map. The southwest monsoon winds, it is intensive coastal erosion along the west coast of India. In the west coast of India, we can see Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. These states are largely affected by the coastal erosion. Understand? Then the second major important causes of the coastal erosion, that is tropical cyclone. My dear students, the tropical cyclones, these are destructive and mostly occur during the northeast monsoon season. In the northeast monsoon season, over the Bay of Bengal, it has been covered. Then they cause serious coastal erosion along the east coast of India. These affected the coastal states. One is Tamil Nadu, second one is Andhra Pradesh, and the third one is Odisha. These are the tropical cyclones of the coastal erosion. Then the third one is tsunami. Tsunami are large waves generated by the earthquakes. Understand? It is a large waves generated by the earthquakes. The coastal erosion occurs due to tsunami. In India, it is a large waves generated by the earthquakes. The coastal erosion occurs due to the tsunami in India. Then the Andaman and the Nicobar Islands and the east coast of India have been affected by the tsunami. My dear students, observe the map. This is the map with colorful states of our India. See, in the map, the Andaman and the Nicobar Islands and east coast of India have been affected by the tsunami. These are the causes and distribution of coastal erosion. One is the southwest monsoon, second one is the tropical cyclone, third one is a tsunami. Then, my dear students, in the coastal erosion by human interference. In the coastal erosion by the human interference, we can see the removal of the sand, quarrying, construction breakwater, etc. Then, in the human interference also result in the coastal erosion, removal of sand and construction breakwater are the main important causes of the coastal erosion. And let's move on. Another important concept in the coastal erosion, that is effects. What are the effects of coastal erosion? My dear students, coastal erosion is one of the natural disasters. All of you know that. It is one of the natural disasters. What are the major effects? Coastal areas, including trees and building, can be washed away. In the coastal area, including trees and building, can be washed away. Then the roads along the coast can be fully damaged. Then the railway lines along the coast can be fully damaged. The coastal areas can remain flat over a long period of time, requiring resettlement of the people. These are the major effects of soil erosion. One is building can be washed away, trees can be washed away, the roads can be fully damaged, then the railway lines along the coastal areas fully damaged. The coastal areas can remain flat over a long period of time. These are the major effects of soil erosion. Understand? Then, what are the preventive measures of coastal erosion? The preventive measures of the coastal erosion, that is construction sea walls, then construction grounds, breakwaters, then restrict sand mining in the coastal areas, planting of trees, to stabilize the beaches and coastal downs. These are the effects of these are the preventive measures of coastal erosion. Once again I repeat, the preventive measures of the coastal erosion: one is constructions of the sea walls, then the constructions of the grounds, then breakwater, restrict and sand mining in coastal areas, restrict sea mining, planting of trees, and stabilize the beaches and coastal downs. These are the preventive measures of the coastal erosion. Understand? These are the preventive measures of coastal erosion. And let's move on another important and last concept in this lesson, that is earthquakes. What is earthquake? What are the causes of earthquake? What are the effects and distributions of earthquake? And what are the preventive measures of earthquake? These points let us discuss one by one. Okay. Then earthquakes. An earthquake is a violent vibration in the earth crust. All of you know that, dear students, it is a violent vibration in the earth crust. It is one of the worst natural hazards which often result in disasters. All of you know that it is one of the very worst natural hazards. Understand? It is a violent vibration in the earth crust. Then, what are the causes of these natural disasters? What are the causes of earthquake? My dear students, earthquake occurred due to several causes, such as plate movement. Plate movement, it is one of the several such of the causes of the earthquakes. Then second one is volcanic. Then third one is felting and folding. Then landslides, collapse of underground cave roofs, hydrostatic pressure of man-made water bodies. These are the very major causes of earthquakes: plate movement, volcanic, felting and folding, landslides, collapse of underground cave roof, hydrostatic pressure of man-made water bodies. In India, most of the earthquakes that have occurred earlier were due to plate movement. In India, in our country, most of the earthquakes they have occurred due to the plate movement. These are the major important causes of the earthquakes. Then, what are the effects of the earthquakes? The effects of the earthquakes, like cracking of the ground surface. All of you know that. Cracking. It is a violent vibration in the earth crust. Cracking of the ground surface. Then second one is damage and destructions of the buildings. All of you know that. Damage and the destructions of the building, that is the major effects of the earthquakes. Then damage in railway lines, damage of roads, damage of power lines or power supply, damage of telecommunication lines, damage of bridges, damage of dams, damage of the factories, and loss of human life and animal life, and loss of property, and destructions of the forest due to fire, landslides, disturbance in the groundwater level, blockage and diversion of the river course. These are the major important effects of the earthquakes. Understand? Damage of the bridges, damage of the dams, damage of the factories, and loss of human life and animal life and property, damage of the communication lines, damage of the buildings. These are the major effects of the earthquakes. Understand? And my dear students, distributions of the earthquakes. My dear students, there are three major distributions of the earthquakes. There are three major zones of the earthquakes. One is the Himalayan zone. Second one is the Indo-Genetic zone. Then the third one is the peninsular zone. Keep it in mind, very important. The three major important zones in the earthquakes. One is the Himalayan zone, second one is the Indo-Genetic zone, the third one is the peninsular zone. My dear students, let us discuss one by one. The first one is the Himalayan zone. In the Himalayan zone, we can say it is a zone of maximum intensity. This zone includes the states of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, and Bihar. Then, the earthquakes in this zone are basically due to plate movement. Example, Chamuli, Uttarkashi, etc. Then the second one is the Indo-Genetic zone. The Indo-Genetic zone, it is lies between south of the Himalayas, and it comprises of the states like Rajasthan, plains of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and West Bengal. My dear students, keep it in mind, the Indo-Genetic zones is also called as the zone of moderate intensity. Understand? Then the third one is the peninsular zone. Peninsula, it covers three sides of water and the one side of land. It includes the islands of the Lakshadweep, the island of Andaman and Nicobar, Run of Kutch. Peninsula India has been considered as a statable landmass. Then the peninsula zone, it is also called as zone of minimum intensity. Which is the zone of minimum intensity? That is the peninsular zone. These are the three major earthquake zones in India. One is Himalayan zone, second one is Indo-Genetic zone, third one is the peninsular zone. Then what are the precautions or of earthquakes? What are the precautionary measures? My dear students, first one is avoid the human settlements. Avoid the human settlements in the earthquake prone zones. That is the major precautionary measures. Avoid the human settlements. Then use building materials of high quality and avoid high rise. Using of the building materials of the high quality, that is maybe avoided. Then use building materials of high quality and avoid high based buildings. Then restrict the overground, restrict the urban, my dear students, the precautionary measures of the earthquakes. The precautionary measures of the earthquakes, one is avoid the human settlements in the earthquakes. Then follow earthquakes residents designs for the constructions of the buildings. Then third one is using building materials of high quality and avoid high rise buildings. Avoid the high rise buildings. Then designing of the deep walls for underground water. Designing of the deep walls. Diggings of the deep walls. Then urban growth in the hilly areas with high vulnerability. Avoid the constructions of large dams. Then stop deforestation and heavy quarrying activities. These are the major precautionary measures of the earthquakes. Then the besides post disasters measures, earthquakes are also essential for food supply, rehabilitations, precaution for viral diseases, medical facilities, etc. These are the measures of two earthquakes. One is food supply, all of you know that. Then rehabilitations, precaution of the viral diseases, and to provide the medical facility. These are the precautionary measures of the earthquakes. My dear students, in this class we have learned meaning of landslides, causes, effects, distribution and precautionary measures of landslides. Then second point, what is the meaning of coastal erosion? What are the causes, effects, distribution and precautionary measures of coastal erosion? And the third point, earthquakes. What is earthquake? What are the causes of earthquake? What are the distributions, effects and precautionary measures of earthquake? These points today we have learned in this class. Okay, my dear students, in the lesson Indian natural disasters, we have learned meaning of natural disasters, causes, effects and distributions of cyclone, floods, landslides, coastal erosion, earthquakes, etc. These points we have learned in the lesson Indian natural disasters. These points we have learned in this lesson Indian natural disasters. Indian natural disasters lesson is completed. Okay, my dear students, thank you.